Hello everyone, John from Gaming in the Wild here, and I've got a Steam Next Fest wrap-up video for you today. Steam Next Fest is one of my favourite times of the gaming year. It's when we get to go hands-on with tens or scores of new indie games. There were literally 5,000 in the fest in total. That means it's sometimes hard for the cream to rise to the top, and I only managed to play 30, but the Gaming in the Wild Discord community managed to play about 150 together. So in this video, I'm going to run down my own personal top 10 from the 30 demos that I played, and then give you the community vote from the Gaming in the Wild Patreon Discord, and it is a really diverse bunch of games, from an unexpected dice-rolling sequel to a thrilling, polished post-Elden Ring Souls-like to a game about penguins and Nazis. No, I'm not kidding, that's actually what that game is about. So open up your wishlist and get ready for this one, because there are a lot of good games to talk about. As always, your likes are appreciated. You can sub to the channel for more from me in your feed, and I'll tell you about the channel's Patreon in a while. So my top 10 begins with Dice Vaders. This is a game that I didn't know existed until the last day of the fest, which is really surprising given that it's published by PlayStack, the publishers of Balatro. I was a huge fan of Star Vaders, where you control mechs on a small board, deploying their abilities to take care of waves of aliens that are invading your planet. This game swaps out the deck builder gameplay for dice rolling, and it also swaps your role. You're no longer the mech warriors, you now control the aliens themselves. And if you've played Star Vaders, you will remember that some of them split into multiple enemies, some of them explode when you shoot them, and now you get all of those abilities for yourself, which is actually really fun. There's an interesting roguelike in here as well, with lots of options to change your build and so forth, and it has a 2026 release date, so I'm looking forward to that one. I can see myself losing a lot of time to it. That's Dice Vaders. Number 9 on my list is Blood Dungeon. This was one of the games that really took the festival by storm, partially because it was available at Playdays, the in-person event out at Summer Games Fest, and all the people that were there really hyped this one up in their post-Playdays reports and on social media and so forth. It's basically a version of Vampire Survivors gameplay, so it's an auto-firing game, but rather than walking around on a flat plane, you're actually doing acrobatic platforming in this game. It feels really good in the hand. Your character can scramble up walls, cling to ceilings, and you're jumping around, avoiding enemies, powering up every now and then, trying to get a good screen clearing build going, and then facing off against bosses, unlocking new characters and so forth. It's a very, very fun little game. It's from the creators of Nidhogg, and it has that same chaotic energy. No release date on this one as yet, so keep watching the skies for Blood Dungeon. Next up is Mortal Shell 2, and I didn't play the original Mortal Shell, but I did admire the graphics from afar, and actually getting hands-on with Mortal Shell 2 made me understand it more and like it more. It has a really strong intro that gets you straight into Elden Ring style gameplay, where you're creeping through different areas, facing off against enemies, finding out the lay of the land. It looks like the save points are actually shrines that have dungeons beneath them, so you have to take care of those to purify a save point and be able to use it. It also has this shell mechanic where if you lose your armor, then you get a second chance to kill enough enemies to get it back. I actually got through a fair chunk of this game. I played it for 40 minutes without dying, which I guess means it's easier than Elden Ring, but when I did die, I had to go back a solid 20 minutes to the last save point, which was a bit of a pain in the ass. All in all though, a very winning game, a very impressive showing, maybe my personal favourite Souls-like I've played since Lies of P. You can check out the open beta on Steam now. That's Mortal Shell 2. My number 7 is actually D-Topia, a game that is coming out via Annapurna Interactive. It's a game that I'd seen a trailer for and not been incredibly drawn to, but I did try out the demo and I was pleasantly surprised. It's a game in which you arrive in D-Topia as a kind of mechanic who is going to help fix up the neighborhood, but you soon enough find that everyone is doing these nonsensical jobs that don't really mean much. The whole installation is run by an AI, and it has the feeling of a creche more than a workplace, and although it's a short demo, you do get a glimpse that there might be something going on beneath the surface of this place, which is suspiciously benign and clean for a human settlement. The demo does leave you on a bit of a cliffhanger, and that's the best thing for a demo to do, especially as the game is coming out on the 14th of July. It certainly put it on my radar, and I want to see more about what is happening in the strange little world of D-Topia. A game that we'll be waiting a little longer for is Nocturne, which was supposed to come out this month, but it's been kicked back to the 24th of September for some polishing and bug fixes and so forth. It's a very promising top-down pixel RPG with some lovely art that has overgrown areas to explore and a strange sort of digital heaven storyline where you arrive at the supposed digital heaven where people are uploaded when they die, but it's fallen into rack and ruin and the people that you meet haven't seen anyone new for years, so something is clearly wrong. It's a pretty intriguing story setup, but the other thing that really makes Nocturne Nocturne different from other games of this type is the combat, because rather than turn-based or real-time action, when you get into combat, it's a rhythm game. Each enemy has a different track and a different rhythm and a different speed, and you have to react in real time. It's super enjoyable and it really breaks things up. So I'm really looking forward to this one come September. That's Nocturne. That brings us to the top 5, and number 5 on my list is Fame Or Folly. This is a fantastic deck builder that takes the formula of Balatro and builds on it in some really interesting ways. I had been playing an awful lot of this one before Next Fest. I actually have over 30 hours in the game already because it's a very substantial demo with 4 different decks to try out. There are writs that affect the gameplay, there are props that change things and can be experimented with, there are powerful cards to unlock and all kinds of synergies to discover. I like this game so much that I ended up talking to the developer and I'm working on it now, helping to get the word out about it. The demo is still up, so give it a try. It's the first deck builder I've played since Balatro that captures that elusive magic. That is Fame or Folly. Number 4 on my list is one that came out of nowhere. It's called Burn 9 and it is being published by Fellow Traveller. It's a kind of a UI game in the Gareth Damian Martin Citizen Sleeper style, but it brings to mind Metal Gear Solid as well. It's an espionage game where you are an operator sitting in a far distant facility, but you have an eye in the sky looking down on an active area. And when your tactical team's helicopter is shot down on the way into their mission, it's your job to guide the lone survivor to the objective. You show them about doors, you tell them where to pick up supplies, you warn them about enemies, and you see them moving through these architectural diagrams that you're looking at and telling you what is there. A very intriguing game, one to watch for sure. I finished the demo and I'm dying for more. That is Burn 9. The next one is probably the strangest demo that I played in this Next Fest. It is Penguin Colony from the developer of the award-winning Umurangi Generation. It's a game in which you control a penguin, but as you move around by waddling, by sliding on your belly over the ice, by swimming through the water, every time you see another penguin you can body swap. So you can be a small penguin that can wriggle through holes and fences, you can be an emperor penguin that is bigger and more bulky and slides faster. You follow the wind to your next objective, Ghost of Tsushima style, and there's also a flare in the sky that shows you the way forward. And what is happening in Antarctica, because we're in the 1930s here, is that there is a Nazi search party searching for something hidden beneath the ice. By the end of the demo, you realize that that is something vast and weird and perhaps not what we might be expecting. So it's a very compelling mixture of wild nature, odd history, and H.P. Lovecraft style spookiness with something vast lurking beneath the ice. This is a very janky and buggy game, but the vibe was like nothing else I played at Next Fest, and I'm really looking forward to the full thing. That is Penguin Colony. My second best game of the fest is a fishing game. That's something I didn't expect to hear myself saying, but it's not your average fishing game. It's called About Fishing. It is from the developer who made Arctic Eggs, and it has a strange Twin Peaks vibe to the whole thing. So as well as fishing, you're exploring a small town, you're talking to locals about the local legend of these twins that went missing, and you are searching for them by fishing, which means casting your hook into the water. The camera then snaps to the hook, and you can control the fish that take a bite under the water to explore tunnels, to explore the lake floor, to pull out clues, and you can also fillet the fish and sell them to get money and upgrade your fishing tackle. The thing I like most about this game though is the atmosphere that it presents. It's creepy, it's kind of mossy, outdoorsy, it's always raining, it's dark and strange and really surreal actually, and it has a really grimy, retro, low poly feel to the whole thing. It's coming later in 2026. That's About Fishing. That brings us to my number 1 game of Next Fest, and it's one that you may have heard about. It is Virtue and a Sledgehammer. This game is made by the twin studios of Selkie Harbor and Deconstruct team, who made Many Nights a Whisper. They were a really cool Spanish team, and I actually have copies of Many Nights a Whisper for new patrons, by the way, so if you're interested in the last game by the Virtue and a Sledgehammer team, become a patron on the $3 tier, and I will personally message you with a Steam code for their last game. But Virtue and a Sledgehammer is bigger in scale. It is a game where you play as a girl who is going on a murderous rampage through a robot village. You take your sledgehammer and you can knock down walls, you can knock down houses, you can punch through giant concrete slabs, and you can wipe out any robot that you meet with a single blow. As you do so, you have flashbacks that tell the story of why you were doing this, and that's where this game really sings. The gameplay is great, the destructibility is great, but it's the psychological drama of the story that really grabbed me. There is a tale here about how people have been uploading their consciousnesses to robot bodies, what that means, whether they are still human. You will encounter them as you go around this village, just contemplating how they can't smell or touch things anymore, and the only way that you really have to interact with them is by whacking them with your giant sledgehammer, which feels like strangely wrong in a similar way to that scene in Last of Us 2 where you're playing as Ellie and you have to press a button to do something nasty, let's say. So I really like the position that this game puts the player in of playing this kind of very satisfying destruction gameplay whilst not feeling entirely right about it. I think that's really, really interesting. The game is set to release later this year. That is Virtue and a Sledgehammer, and it is my best of the fest from Steam Next Fest, June 2026. And this Next Fest was especially fun because of the Gaming in the Wild patron community's involvement. It helped me to find really good games, and I think all of us pitching in together, rating games, sharing the good ones, really helped everyone to find the best stuff to play amongst the 5,000 games on offer. We run an event like that every Next Fest, and if you would like to take part in the next one, to vote on your favourite games, to join the community, and to hear about the best games at Next Fest, you can join the Patreon from as little as $1 a month. At the $1 tier, you get Discord access, and you can join in events like the Next Fest Rate and Play. At the $3 tier, you get a free indie game code for a hand-picked game. I have 1000 Times Resist on PS5, and I have Steam codes for Many Nights a Whisper, Phantom Spark, Signs of the Sojourner, and more. And when you join, I will reach out to see which code you want. That is your thank you for joining the Patreon. There are some higher tiers as well, including the Boss tier patron, which gets you a thank you on every single podcast and video that I make. So special thanks to my Boss tier and Benefactor tier patrons, King Champ, Susanna Maria, Drellish, Reistic Studies, Nate, Noah, Jeremy, and Andrew. Welcome, Andrew. It's patreon.com/gaminginthewild. Link on the screen now if you'd like to join. And as well as all of that stuff, you get the satisfaction that you are helping me to make these videos for you all. I'm working hard at being a full-time games YouTuber, podcaster, critic, and writer, and the Patreon is a really important component of that, so your support means everything. And with that, let's get on with the video. So the community vote is a little different from my list. There were only 4 games in common, so there were 6 games on the patron list that didn't make my list. At number 10 in the community vote for the best of Next Fest was Desktop Explorer. This is a fake OS game in which you boot up a system so your screen looks like a sort of retro Windows-style operating system, and you then solve puzzles by looking in the metadata of files, by resizing windows, and by doing a lot of OS stuff, looking in the options, changing up the desktop. It's very clever and original, and I can really see why it made this list. That's Desktop Explorer. And number 9 on the list was Blood Dungeon, which was also number 9 on my list, funnily enough. That's the Vampire Survivors like acrobatic platformer that is really, really a lot of fun. At number 8 in the patron vote was Dear and Boy. This is a demo that I did play, but there were some people out there who really, really enjoyed this one. It was one for fans of Inside, Limbo, Planet of Lana, so a really vibey, atmospheric platform puzzle game with a cinematic style. That was Dear and Boy. It's out now, actually. At number 7 in the patron vote was Dusk Fade. This is a very colourful and exciting looking action platformer. I didn't play this one, and it went completely under my radar throughout the whole of Next Fest, but I really like the art style, and it looks like there's some parkour and combat in here as well. That's Dusk Fade. And number 6 was Silver Pines. This is another one that went under the radar for me, but I was really taken with the art style when I looked up the trailer. It's a 2D survival horror game with a strong narrative strand as well, and another really cinematic game actually. That's Silver Pines. And number 5 was Toem 2. If you've played the original Toem, you will know all about the appeal of this game. It's a top-down black and white photography game where you use your camera to solve puzzles. I really like the first one, and I'm looking forward to this one too. It's just a cute, wholesome time. That's Toem 2. And number 4 in the patron vote was Fame or Folly. It's the same game that I had at number 5. It is that addictive Balatro-style Renaissance fair deck builder. I absolutely fell in love with this game, and so it's really reassuring to put it in the hands of other people and to find out that they see what I see and they think it's just as good as I do. Very, very addictive game. Be sure to try that one out. At number 3 in the patron vote was Burn 9. 9, that one was also on my list. It's the espionage thriller where you play a distant operator helping a sole survivor through a hostile military base. At number 2 was Well Dweller. I did actually play this one too. It's the latest game from Kyle Thompson, the creator of Islets and Crypt Custodian. It's another beautiful looking game with his trademark hand-drawn art style, and it promises a Hollow Knight-esque giant world to explore. My favourite thing about this one is the grotesque bosses that have a sort of nightmarish, twisted Alice in Wonderland vibe to them. I also really like the movement actually. You have this slide, you have a double jump, your character is very active, very mobile, so a little bit of Hollow Knight, a little bit of Ori, and that really juicy art style as well. It's one to watch for sure, that is Well Dweller. And at the top of the pile with only one more vote was Virtue in a Sledgehammer, top of my pile as well. So there we have it, that is the best of Next Fest. Hope you enjoyed the list, and if I missed out on any demos because there were just so many in Next Fest, if you played some games that you think I would like, then please do drop them in the comments. The whole point of this Next Fest event was me and the patrons helping each other to find the best games, and you can be a part of that too. And also, if you would like more from me, by the way, there is also a bi-weekly podcast that you can get every 2 weeks on your favourite podcast app. It's also on my profile in the podcast tab. In the latest episode, I talk about Star Fox, I talk about all the other games that I've been playing, including Vampire Crawlers, which has really gotten its hooks into me, and Alabaster Dawn. I jumped into the early access and I've been having a great time with that as well. Link on the screen now for the podcast, and with that, I'm going to leave you, so take care of yourselves and each other, and I'll see you on the next one.